Professor Kawanga Ssemogerere. I thought she was a professor of economics, but she has also proved that she's a professor of political science.
That we have to learn actively and promote from Honorable Ssemogerere. The first item, you are going to see my son reading me the sentences. That's because I have many limitations, including poor sight, but I know what I want to say and still organized. First, political education, democracy, and the fight for human rights. Those who are ingrained with Ssemogerere. Ssemogerere spent a lot of time talking to people, not just discussion, but developing ideas. Who are we Ugandans? How do we define our political system? What is democracy? Is it something that just sounds nice? Or do we mean it? One of the things you didn't know, because it was not published, we spent 7 years with the NRM. At the very beginning, when it took power, Honorable Ssemogerere stood his ground and said, "You are of the movement system, and you have come to promote one-party state." True? That's what they intended. And I believe that's still what they intend. And said, "You have found the Democratic Party here. We promote pluralism and multi-party democracy, and we stand for it." And the representatives of that committee from the president kept on saying, after some time we will see that working together in one party state is better. And Ssemogerere replied, "No, I also tell you, after some time you will see that we are diverse. And in particular, Uganda is not suitable for one-party state." I repeat, Uganda is not suitable for one-party state. We are heterogeneous in our heritage, in our language, in our culture, and that's what makes us so rich and interesting. If I have to select a country to live, I would still select to live here in Uganda, despite the fact that I have lived for 15 years in the United States with all its wealth, and I went to very rich schools. I still think the most interesting thing is the variety of peoples and cultures and ideas of Ugandans. Ugandans, you are great. Now I want, over time, I want you to take this as a legacy and define for us we need to define ourselves as a country with this rich legacy and stop manipulating people to draw them into monolithic systems. We are extremely rich as we are, whether you are a Mulango or an Acholi or a Karamojo. You should never be ashamed of yourself. Your variety is your contribution God has given us, free of charge, by the way. And I would like to put this point as the legacy. That is number one. Number two, Dr. Ssemogerere believed in peaceful acquisition and transfer of power from one regime to the other. The disaster here, each regime which comes wants to dismiss the entire civil service, because those are, you know, they want to keep on saying, bano bobote, bano banyanya, bano bachi. We should stop these things. A civil service should be continuous with skills and education, and should serve the political system without being just here and there because the regime has changed. So, number two, we want peaceful transfer of power. We don't want to wait all the time for coups and for those who speak strongly. Oh, you turn again. That's not the point. Have you come here to shoot us or to live with us and make life better for us? Why must each country have its own army? We want a national army. Strangely enough, one thing that interested me and I was amazed is the police. My husband formed the police and nurtured the police, and the police knows it. And voluntarily, without asking anyone, at least not from our house, the police played the most beautiful things and band, and we marched to the church taking his body at his death. In fact, we were crying. We just wiped in tears and enjoyed the music. And I think Uganda should be like that. The police is to protect us with our property and whatever. It is not to persecute us. We really believe in peace. The political system. We have to improve the political system. We should not be starting from scratch. If we have a party, you heads of parties, you are to improve those parties and not to see what I have just seen about maybe 2 weeks ago, forcing my brother, he knows who he is, climbing hedges to free members of his party. Can you imagine? And he's a nice, well-built man. He looks honorable, but he had to be forced to climb hedges because they didn't agree with the party. And all the time we had been told, you know, this party has come intellectually and is trying to improve with us. Actually, part of that party spent quite some time trying to destroy DP. But I think by now they are learning a lesson. We are trying to improve the party system. The party system is an institution. There are reasons why parties are formed. Some parties will command majority. Some parties will be minority parties. But with a reason, some parties will lean to certain religions. But I think all that is okay, as long as those parties are well developed and well nurtured. Don't go to another party to destroy it. That is poor politics. So as a legacy, of course the first thing I'm going to say, develop further and improve the Democratic Party. It is a mother party in many respects. There's no hiding about that. But I have no problem with the Congress people. If they want, they can improve their UPC. And we worked together with Madam, whom you all know, from UPC. And my husband concentrated on removing violence for the conciliation. He did not stand to destroy UPC. And people came telling him, oh, those UPC people are such bad people. Why do you work with them? And he would turn them around and look at the other party from home. Such people came and said, are those from the other party necessarily better? We shouldn't make such statements. We should talk to each party to improve it and to love it to grow. This should be an active legacy of multi-partyism. Very early in his graduate education, my husband wrote a very small paper and said, a one-party state is neither democratic nor African. So those who come running that Africans are very suited for one party, they are telling you that. At least in this country, which is so rich with so many cultures and so many lifestyles, a one-party state is indigenous. Let people have parties which they want to form voluntarily, and we develop a culture. On this basis, what happened with there was a foundation which came here to help political parties. Clearly that foundation, the donors to that foundation should examine their conscience. Did they do that? Or did they just concentrate on making one party supreme and suppressing other parties? iPod. Was that building multi-party state or what? These are issues which we should learn and discuss and guide the donors from iPod to do better. I've talked about the political system to be pluralistic, coming into power politically and possibly politically and peacefully. And there are subjects which we should learn. There are better ways of voting and having majority counted at the polling station. Many of you are in a hurry. We don't want to listen. You are counting what is proportional representation. That is the pain. They are defining for us something abstract. Hey, you can have one man winning it all, but bringing a minority of people to rule you and not having a place in the political system. In fact, one of the things we have learned from distributing the money for welfare that is going on now, tells us that we should better really count how representative we are. What is a parish? If you don't want to define a parish properly, how do you know that the parish development model is going to be democratic? And you are going to take small villages and give them the same wealth and financing as very large parishes. Have you really thought about political representation on which you base the parish development model, or you are just chanting words? This is something we should do. Where do we live in local government? I saw my sister, Narima, and I've been listening to you struggling to explain local government. We have a lousy local government and we don't want it to grow. Those are some of the areas in which we should have a legacy being developed. Now, if you have properly arranged and defined your local government and your population and its diverse culture, you may in fact have to conclude that it is better to develop into a federal rather than a unitary system. But then, my brothers and sisters, and I know there are people working with a lot of effort, saying that we are going to develop a federal system whether it is permitted or not permitted. What they are saying, in fact, to begin with, the federal system is going to be de facto. And as we go along, we shall address the de jure problem. In other words, we are going to work as a federal and show that it works, and then start from there and develop a suitable legal system. I don't oppose them, and I think they should be encouraged. But overall, for the legacy, let us not just repeat federal, federal, federal. Let us see what it means, how we can develop it for our country. And my husband tried to do that. He showed us several federal systems, both in Africa, in Europe, in the Americas, and in Asia. And why I say we have to have an actively developed federal system, don't fall into the problem of Ethiopia. You start with regions that are viable and doing things in the federal way, and you set conflict of one region versus another. Ethiopia is busy trying to destroy the federal system. I don't think that is a good idea, but simply saying, you know, those so and so are bad, and so you set them to shoot at them, and when they have finished, and always it is the dictator at the head who is advising the different regions to shoot at each other. We shouldn't do it that way. Let us dig a federalism. Let us look at what the sultans are doing. What is happening in Switzerland? We know how to say, okay, if you are going to have federalism, you must have many official languages. But you know, handle the language problem properly. People will hear each other if what they are saying to each other is sensible. If you started talking in Swahili everywhere, don't think that you will understand each other necessarily. Those who are saying Swahili have better talk sense to us. In federalism, particularly in places like Switzerland, those people have more than 5 languages. And some languages are spoken by only a few people. But they run a horrible federal system, because the federal system is about sharing power and respect for each other. It is not just having or enforcing one language on the other. Now, I've spoken a mouthful. I have not been analytical. I have simply mentioned to you areas which I am asking you to work at actively. I want this forum, I may be deceiving myself, but I hope not. I want this forum to be held several times. But when we come, I'm not asking for a memorial lecture. No, thank you. I am asking for an active legacy. You see the difference? We can have a memorial lecture and cry all our tears. Maybe you will say, you know, I think this madam doesn't cry for her husband. I do. Incidentally, just to tell you that I'm still in the period of mourning, the dress I have on is donated to me by the relatives of my brothers and sisters. Abengabi, my own brother. They brought to me as mafunvu. Of course, in the tradition, you know what mafunvu is. That's how I am quite tight, so that I can have some energy to talk to you. I'm still crying for my husband, but I don't want him to be remembered in a memorial nature. I want him to be remembered in active legacy, so that each time we meet, we add something to the beauty and development of our dear country. Understood? Yes. I hope so. It is not tears today or tears tomorrow. It is developing in active legacy. Let me tell you, let me bring one example. We have violent elections here. We better learn how to handle them. And I know in this audience, at least I heard, if he has left, well, you can tell him I said so. You know, my brother Jagurai is still asking questions. How do we preserve our victory? Hey, let me tell you, Mr. Jagurai, you are not the first to have the victory. We have had this victory twice. And I say so, I have the evidence. One in 1980, it was practically the first one. My husband was elected victorious. He won the election. And then somehow, there was a formation of a Bush organization, apparently to redeem the victory. He did not join. It gave him a lot of criticism, but my husband was never a Muyekera, because he does not believe in acquiring power by violence. And he could tell you that I will never go to State House jumping dead bodies. And let me tell you, had he gone, Nayekera, a lot of you would be dead. You better believe. And I know, and the people come to us and tell us, Owange Ssemogerere yalyoka n'abaawo, it is good he was around. He saved me from this trap and the other trap. And my husband reprimanded me for preparing a beautiful meal for the Bayekera at the end, and said, Madam, what exactly are you doing? And I told him, well, I'm welcoming these brothers and sisters because they are coming back from the bush. From what? And I had to apologize. And for some time I went grumbling. But in the end, I had to say in my heart of hearts, he was right. We should never promote political systems violently, because what we get at the end is not democracy. It is a continuation of violence. And whenever we want to say, you get an answer saying, but you want us to do that. But when we push people, when the people who didn't go to the bush do something right. Now, these are issues that we have to learn in an active legacy from Ssemogerere. One of the things we are trying to do as a family, we are trying to put together a library and preserve whatever is worth preserving for the generations that are interested to learn better how to manage and protect and preserve and build an enjoyable democracy for our country. And we are doing a second effort. We are going to try to reconstruct the foundation for African development. The foundation was there, but because of who, somebody, I think, developed a greed to take it over. And what the foundation was trying to do, gradually weakened. We will not have that continue. I have my younger mwami, Honorable Dr.Paul Kawanga, who helped us draft the bylaws and the legal phrases for the Foundation for African Development. He's here, please stand. So that he helped us when the foundation was being set up, and he's still helping us to see how the foundation will be improved. And some of the things we are trying to raise as we develop, we organize this meeting is maybe we are trying to develop how to have custodians.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Ssemogerere. Thank you very much. And we appreciate you, Mama, for the freedom to speak to us. You talk like a Dr. Ssemogerere.